am your Rusame reader, Crow Song, and today I will be reading to you from Everlasting War by Cake. Now, on to Chapter 3, Outside. America stood in front of his parents, shocked by the news. His mother agreed to let him go to Haiel. He would meet the Crown Prince of Muscovy. Thank you, but before I leave, should I bring some sort of veil to hide myself? Yes and no. You'll wear a veil while on the horse, but you will be face to face with him. Anyways, I must be going. America, pack your stuff. Take Canada with you as your guard. I'm heading to Muscovy now. Britain stood up and grabbed his crown from the arm of the throne, kissing his wife on the cheek as he did so. He stepped down the steps, carrying his crown in hand, and then walked up to his son, embracing him in a hug. Stay safe, Aimee. I'm putting my trust in you that you'll stop this war. America nodded in response, hugging his father back. Once they parted, Britain walked out of the room, his cape gliding while he walked away. America turned to his mother, who had walked down the steps and was a few steps from him. She got closer and grabbed his hands, holding them firmly. Fiji and Tuvalu cannot continue living in a war. Poor Myanmar is so young, he shouldn't remember it if you end it. If your father fails, and it isn't your father's fault, you need to get under the Muscovite's skin. We're all counting on you. Take Malaysia. She's smart, and she can help you create a compromise. And ask India for a veil. She can lend you one that you can see through. Thank you, Mother. I'll do my best. I'll let Nada and Melee know. I love you. France pulled him into a hug, resting her chin on his head. I love you too, dear. Now, hurry along. America pulled out of the hug and smiled, quickly turning around to run and get his brother and sister. First, he'd get his sister Malaysia. Her room was the closest. He ran up a flight of stairs, occasionally getting his aiguillette's point hitting his face. Once he got to her room, he took a breath and knocked. No, I'm not hungry, Nigeria. Oh, America, Malaysia said while opening the door. That was a concerning sentence, but Mother said you have to come with me. I'm leaving the kingdom, he proudly said, sticking his chest out. But, all right, I'll get ready. I'm assuming we're taking horses? Yep, me, you, and Nada. All right, well, go tell him. I'll meet you at the stables. And get a veil from India, she said, closing her door. Mother already said that, but thanks. We'll be gone for 2 months, according to Dad. America then began a slight jog to Canada's room. It was just down the hall, and India's was right next to it, so he decided to yell. Canada! India! I need you! Canada was the first to open his door. He looked tired, but America understood why. The sun had only risen enough to see about half an hour before. India was the next to open her door. Her long hair was a mess. A little boy peeked out from behind her legs. All right, Nada. We're going to Haiel for 2 months. You, Melee, and I. I'll be, meeting with the Crown Prince of Muscovy. You're just a guard for this mission. I think Melee is more like an advisor. India, I need a veil to wear from you. We 3 will be riding horses there, so I need something to shield me as we go through town. And hi, Leon. You should go get more sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna go get ready. I'll meet you at the stables. Canada yawned, shutting his door. Come in, Dumpa won't mind. I'll get you ready, India said, opening the door so America could step in. A lamp was lit just by the bedside table. By a man, he carried it to India, handing it to her. He picked up Myanmar and carried him back to bed, laying him down. India took America's hand and sat him on a stool before fishing in her wardrobe for a veil. Here, we'll use this one. It's hard to see through from the outside, but easy from the inside to see through. And it's black, so it will match. She quickly turned the fabric around multiple times to figure out the right sides, then stepped up to America, using pins and jewels of hers to stick it to his hat. She allowed it to fully wrap around his head and stay on the hat, if he took it off. Once she was confident, she hugged America. Stay safe, please, and don't let us down. We all depend on you. Our population will start declining if this war continues for another year. Don't worry, I'll do what I can. Plus, I'll have Malaysia with me. After a quick conversation, America left India's room and walked to his, grabbing the luggage he already fixed. He quickly left and walked down a different set of stairs and began to walk to the stables. He noticed Malaysia and Canada already there. Canada wore a red tunic with a black belt hugging his waist. His collar completely wrapped his neck and a satchel sat on his side. He wore breeches with a yellow stripe on the side and large brown boots with spurs on the back. Black gloves sat on his hands and a tan felt hat with a brown band rested on his head. Malaysia wore a light blue dress which completely covered her body, jewels glittering her dress. She wore her hair up in a bun and had earrings and a necklace that matched her outfit. She wore white flat shoes underneath as well as white leggings. To top it off, she wore her tiara as well, the gems shining in the sunlight. Like her brothers, she too carried a saber, and it hung off a belt tied tightly to her hips. Ah, well, India worked magic. Can't see you, Canada exclaimed, as America got closer. We'll put the luggage on my horse, and I'll ride in the back. Malaysia has a map, so when we leave town, she'll let us know which way to go. America nodded, setting his luggage down next to Canada. He grabbed his horse and saddled it, then leading it out of the stable with the other two steeds. Once they were all ready, they hopped on their horses and America led the way out of the castle. It was now nearing noon, so the streets were busy, but in order to leave, they would have to use the main streets. So America led his horse down the path from the palace and into the village. People immediately took notice of him. A veiled man riding a horse slowly through the village, followed by a princess and a prince. It seemed pretty obvious that would be him. Crowds began forming around him, forcing him to stop his horse as to not trample them. This is official royal business. Back away from the crown prince, Malaysia yelled. Despite her young age, she was extremely mature and knew how to control her voice well, something she got from their mother, just like himself. Sadly, being crown prince and all, the entire village seemed to know that he was out of the palace. America realized the only way he'd get them to move was possibly to threaten them, so he placed his hand on his saber. He turned to Canada and Malaysia behind him. They did the same, but they drew theirs, using them to shoo the crowd, which in return allowed America to drop his hand. With this, they were able to escort America through the crowd and keep people from trying to grab his veil. Once they left the village, America had a sigh of relief. He waited a few minutes till he flipped the veil up as they were in the plains. Thanks, Melee. America chuckled, giving her a soft punch on the shoulder once she got to his side. Yeah, of course. And they say royals aren't respectful. Canada scoffed. You saw how they kept trying to take off America's veil? Now we're gonna get an angry letter from mother or father about drawing our sabers. We had to do what we had to do, Malaysia argued, slumping forward. It's my fault. I could have at least maybe dressed as a guard and escorted one of you. Apparently, that's what Muscovy's crown prince does, but they don't know which guard it is, Canada replied. Prince Taiwan told me, by the way. He quickly added in. Oh, Malaysia, which way is Hael? America asked, looking around. This way, she responded as she took the lead. We might run into some small villages or hamlets, so we need to all keep an eye out for you, M.A. Any idea when we'll get there? Canada questioned, positioning himself on Malaysia's right flank, while America sat on the left flank. Tonight, just before the sun sets completely. So you should still be able to say a greeting to, whatever his name is. Crown Prince Russia of Muscovy. Canada replied. Right, gotta remember that. Bahasa Inggris yang betul mungkin membantu, Malaysia responded, humor lingering in her voice. I believe that is Malay for proper English may help. Apologies for mispronunciations. I couldn't find anything to read that out to me, so I just tried my best and I wung it. Maybe speaking English too, Canada replied. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time, and I will see you tomorrow.